beast! Ah!
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Not the Bees, the Nicolas Cage filmography podcast. I am Megs.
I'm Elizabeth.
And this week we watched 2023's Renfield, starring Nicolas Cage and Nicholas Hoult, also along with Awkwafina. Robert Montague Renfield is Dracula's familiar. He serves Dracula and also receives some amount of Dracula's powers by eating insects. We meet him shortly after Dracula is attacked by the last vampire hunters. Dracula is taking some time to heal and needs victims, so Renfield stalked a man to a support group called DRAG, D-R-A-A-G, Dependent Relationship Addicts Anonymous Group. But found community there, so now he stays and listens, then hunts the people the group members are in toxic relationships with. One night after group, he goes after a lowlife named Mitch and his buddies. But it turns out these guys have stolen a shit ton of drugs from a local crime family called the Lobos. While Renfield is incapacitating the guys to take them to Dracula, a hitman arrives to take them out for the Lobos. Renfield kills the hitman by decapitating him with a punch. His head goes through a window and hits the car of Teddy Lobo outside, who's played by the very funny Ben Schwartz. Teddy flips out and drives to a sobriety checkpoint and screams at the cops for help, then realizes that he sat next to a mountain of cocaine and changes his mind and tries to drive away. He ends up having to get out of the car and runs with an armful of cocaine bricks, throwing them at the cops on his way away from them. One cop named Rebecca throws her baton and hits him in the head, and he goes down.
And the cop is played by Awkwafina.
Also, Renfield is Nicholas Hoult. Dracula is Nicolas Cage. Blah, blah, blah. Back at Dracula's lair, Renfield deposits the victims, and Dracula gets down to eating. But he hates the people that Renfield brought. He wants happy couples, unsuspecting tourists, nuns, and a busload of cheerleaders. He tells Renfield he shared his power, his life force with him. He can do whatever he wants. All he asks is for Renfield to get him what he wants. At the police station, Teddy is spilling his guts, but then his lawyer shows up and gets him off of everything. Rebecca is pissed. Her boss says she needs to play ball, and she storms off. We then meet her sister out in the hallway. She's an FBI agent stationed upstairs. Her team is working on taking down the Lobos as well. Apparently, the crime family killed their dad, a decorated police officer. The two have words, and Rebecca is left dejected. At the Lobos compound, Teddy is given a dressing down by his mother about them being the scariest family. Not the most respected, not the richest, but the most violent. She needs to make sure that their empire is secure in Teddy's hands. Meanwhile, Rebecca and her partner investigate the crime scene where Renfield grabbed Mitch. She finds a branded pen for a local spooky bar. They head to the bar to get answers. The Lobos follow with a plan to take out the cops. Inside, Renfield is looking for victims. He happens to see every type of person Dracula wants, including a busload of cheerleaders. As he's getting up to go chloroform all of the cheerleaders, Rebecca and her apartment come in. He goes to leave, but the Lobos are making their way in at the same time. The Lobos hold at the restaurant, and Rebecca stands Teddy down. He makes jabs about her dad and she tells him to shoot her, just like he did her dad. She has to egg him on a bit as he's never killed someone, but as he goes to pull the trigger, Renfield eats a fly and then goes after the Lobos. A big fight ensues where most of the Lobos get killed, but Teddy makes it away. Renfield tells Rebecca she was amazing, and they spend a couple of minutes talking before Rebecca goes to take witness statements. But she tells him that he saved her life. He saved the lives of the bar patrons, and he's a hero. Renfield feels seen for the first time in a long time, but then Dracula calls. At the lair, Dracula tells Renfield he has a new plan. World domination. He's tired of trying to adapt to the world. It should adapt to him. Back at the support group, Renfield bursts in and asks for help. He needs to get out of a toxic relationship. He tells a story about following one of the members because he looked like a, quote, good friend, and then he stayed in the group. Now his boss wants to take over the world. The group give him support. Renfield has the power, he just has to take it back. If he ignores Dracula's needs, he won't grow to full power. So Renfield gets his own apartment and buys an updated wardrobe and reads self-help books. He makes nice with his neighbors. He's happy. Back at the precinct, Rebecca is chewing out her department for being on the Lobos payroll. Renfield arrives to give his witness statement. He brings Rebecca flowers. It's cute and awkward. Rebecca takes his statement, and they say very nice things about each other. He calls her an inspiration. At the Lobos compound, they have an image of Renfield. Teddy's mom says he has till the end of the day to kill him. Rebecca takes the evidence she found at the scene where Renfield took Mitch and gives that and the pen she found there to her sister and asks her to please run the DNA. She needs help to bring down the Lobos. Meanwhile, Teddy and his gang have found Dracula's lair and move in to take out Renfield. But he's not there, and Dracula makes quick work of all of them except for Teddy. Teddy tells Dracula he's not from the church, he's a fucking criminal, and he's here to kill Renfield. Dracula says that's his servant. Teddy says he's not serving him very well. Next, Renfield is at his apartment leaving a message for Rebecca. Dracula shows up to confront him, looking almost fully healed. Renfield scrambles and tries to recover, saying he was on his way, but he had so many bodies he needed to rent a U-Haul. Dracula gaslights Renfield about how he came to be in his service and that Renfield swore to serve and protect him, but then abandoned him. Dracula is the real victim here. Renfield is the monster. Renfield holds up a self-help book like a shield and says he will no longer tolerate abuse. He deserves happiness. Dracula takes the book and sees the sticker on the back for the church where the support group meets and leaves. Rebecca and her partner question the girlfriend of one of the guys with Mitch from the beginning. She's with Mitch's girlfriend, and the both of them are partying and glad that their dudes are missing. Renfield makes it to the group meeting before Dracula and tries to get everyone to leave, but then Dracula shows up. Renfield begs him not to hurt them, and Dracula just circles the group menacingly while introducing himself. He hovers in the air. Renfield says he should never have forsaken him. Dracula demands to know why Renfield would choose these people, and he says they're good people. Dracula says he's finally brought what he's been asking for. Let's eat. And then he kills the entire support group and leaves. Rebecca and her partner show up while Renfield is cradling the head of the group leader. She takes him into custody and puts him in a car. But before they can leave, the department shows up in full force with their sirens on. Her partner turns on her, and Lady Lobos steps out of the vehicle. One of the vehicles in the back. She offers Rebecca a promotion through her boss. She needs to find out what happened to Teddy. The whole force is on her payroll. Rebecca pretends to agree, but then shoots an electrical transformer and dives into her patrol car to flee. She's shot in the shoulder. The cops pursue. At Dracula's lair, Teddy is alive. He tells Dracula his gang can help. What he wants is basically their whole thing. He tells Dracula he should meet his mother. At Renfield's apartment, Rebecca is waking up on his couch. He tells her where her phone and gun are. He's made her tea and brought her cookies. He's still in handcuffs. He won't hurt her. He says he's saved her life twice. He's not a bad guy. She tells him about her strife. She's a top performer. Her dad being murdered by the Lobos. She's got no promotions, etc. Renfield asks politely to explain his situation. She does not believe that he works for Dracula. She says he's not a hero or a villain. He's just a guy that kills random people. Just then her sister calls and says the DNA on the pen is linked to murders and disappearances all over the world going back decades. Rebecca says she's with him. She needs to bring him to her because everyone is looking for him and they set a meet time. On the way out of the apartment, Renfield hears sirens and tells her they're coming. He needs a bug if he's going to do what he did at the bar. He sees a neighbor boy holding his ant farm that Renfield donated an ant to and crashes into his apartment to eat the farm. Then he gets to work killing all the bad cops in spectacularly gross ways, like ripping off one guy's arms and using them to stab two other guys in the chests with them to save Rebecca, who then pulls one of the arms out of a guy's chest to beat a fourth with it. They make it away unscathed. The Lobos have been watching the body cam footage of the fight, and the chief goes to walk away once it's over, proclaiming that he's done. But then Teddy walks in. He has the shades drawn, and his guys bring in a coffin. He introduces his mother to Dracula, and the two appear to hit it off in a crime, family, marriage, and corporation kind of way. Renfield and Rebecca wait at the meetup place for her sister. While they wait, Renfield tells Rebecca about his past, and that even though he did make a choice, it didn't really feel like a choice, but he knows he was wrong and he wants to change. Rebecca's sister calls, and she walks away to take the call. Dracula calls to Renfield psychologically to antagonize him and tell him that he has someone else. On the phone, Teddy's mother is calling to tell Rebecca that she has her sister and to come get her. They leave to prepare and take him down before sunset. They need bugs, stakes, crucifixes, and maybe a protection circle. They arm up and get to the Lobos compound. Dracula has turned Teddy and all of his buddies into familiars. There's like 6 of them, and they all go after Renfield. Rebecca helps a bit and then goes to chase Teddy and his mother up the stairs. Teddy corners her, but Renfield frees her up, and the two of them fight it out. Teddy tries to make Renfield jealous over Dracula picking him, but Renfield is fine with it. Upstairs, Rebecca corners Teddy's mom, but she draws the shades, and Dracula introduces himself. He gives her his best manipulation to get her to join him, all while Teddy and Renfield are still fighting. But Renfield pulls an emergency bug and kicks Teddy in the stomach so hard, he both vomits and shits his organs. Renfield rushes upstairs to stop Rebecca from making a deal to join Dracula, and he'll save her sister, who has been beaten severely and may be dead. Rebecca turns as if to say yes, but instead hits the button for the shades in the room. Dracula erupts into a fiery swarm of bats and flies all the way down to the basement, which is where the Lobos torture people. Rebecca and Renfield follow, but Renfield falls and appears to be out of commission. Dracula resumes his humanoid form and pulls Rebecca into the air. While they hover, she shoots through one of his feet, which causes him to bleed onto Renfield's mouth. Dracula's fangs extend and he goes to rip her throat out, but Renfield jumps onto his back, puts his hand over Dracula's mouth, and his fangs go through his hands. Renfield rips his hands away, Dracula's fangs along with them. But Dracula says he can't take his fangs while they grow back into his mouth. He tells Renfield he's weak, but Renfield remembers what he's learned in support about taking back his power. He comes back to himself and tells Dracula he's right, but he's taking back his power. Dracula throws him and then flies to catch him, but gets trapped in a protection circle that Rebecca made out of cocaine and instructions from a Wiccan Tumblr. The two look at Dracula's trapped, hovering for him, and ask what they should do. Then they look around at the walls and see all of the weapons and get to work beating and cutting him into fucking paste, then shaping him into concrete ice cubes, then sending him down a grate. Renfield has no idea what would actually kill him. Outside, Rebecca has given her sister some of, quote, Dracula blood, and she's fine now. She tells her that it's an herbal tea, some kind of ancient Chinese remedy. Teddy's mom is arrested. Rebecca lets Renfield go. They attend the drag support group together. Renfield brought them all back to life with Dracula blood. The end. Elizabeth?
Yes, dear.
What did you think of this movie?
I fucking love this movie.
Isn't it so good?
The very first note I wrote was like 4 minutes into it, and it just said OMG. And then I wrote, 10 minutes in, this movie is exceptional, and I love it.
Yeah.
This movie is hilarious. Nicolas Cage is hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
His Dracula is genuinely scary.
It is. It's a fucking monster.
And it plays so well. The monster and the support group and the narcissistic behavior. And it's just fantastic. It's fantastic. Ben Schwartz is fantastic in it.
So fucking good.
The end fight is so fucking epic. Yeah, I don't have anything negative to say about this movie.
Yeah, neither do I. The action in this movie is... Listen, I'm just going to go...
It's a brisk 1 hour and 33 minutes.
Yeah. It's very quick.
It's great. I love a good hour and a half long movie.
Yeah.
Give me more of those. I don't need a fucking intermission in all of my movies.
And yet somehow only an hour and 33 minutes, and it is not lacking for content. It's not lacking for action. The only thing is that they do have some strangely edited portions. Like, one that I made note of is the fight at his apartment complex or apartment structure, whatever, as him and Rebecca are going to leave. He goes to help her down from the railing. So she's like on a second story walk around. He is down on ground level, but he is stood on top of a taxi that is also piled with the corpses of the people that they've killed.
Yeah.
And he's standing on top of all of that, and he very easily reaches a hand up to her as if to help her, like, step over. And it jumps from a cut of their hands meeting to her just being on the hood with him. And it's kind of like the director was like, okay, how do we make this work? And they tried several different shots before just saying, fuck it, and just, like, jump editing the clip. There's a couple of, like, edits like that, but they really don't detract from the content of what's happening.
One thing I noticed is that Nicholas Hoult is a full head and shoulders taller than Awkwafina.
Yes.
So sometimes the way that they are blocked is a little weird because you're trying to get them both in the frame and he's so much taller.
Yeah. She's a very small woman.
Yeah.
And Nicholas Hoult, fucking funny.
Nicholas Hoult's eyes are so blue.
Yeah.
They're gorgeous.
Yeah, they are. They really are. He has gorgeous eyes. So does Nicolas Cage. I really liked that they made all of his teeth
sharp and pointy. Yeah.
Like, that was wonderful.
It really lent to the monster aspect of Dracula.
Yeah.
And he speaks so clearly that I was like kind of taken out of it. I was like, they ADR'd all of this. Because there's no way with the mouth full of chompers like that he could enunciate as well as he was.
I don't know if they were CGI'd or not. There are moments when I'm looking at him like, well, he's not wearing false teeth. Like,
I think he was wearing false teeth, and I think he had to re-record everything after they were done because he was speaking very well with those false teeth in.
That's a possibility. I didn't look up any, like, factoids about the movie. I just wanted to watch it.
Yeah, I didn't look up any factoids either.
We're kind of bad at looking up factoids about the movie. We really just like to go with, like, how the movie made us feel.
Yeah, it's all about vibes around here.
It really is. But, like, this movie, and, like, I don't know about you, but I am a huge fan of what are considered, like, parody horror movies. Like, to me, the best zombie movie that's ever been made is Shaun of the Dead. And I will not apologize for it. I don't care how many cinematic masterpieces are out there. I know 28 Years Later just came out. I fucking love Danny Boyle. I thought 28 Days Later was a goddamn masterpiece. But Shaun of the Dead and this movie lend to the idea that the people that are experiencing it are fucking normal. And how would normal people experience a zombie apocalypse or being given the knowledge and then experiencing an interaction with the actual fucking Dracula? It's so ridiculous and also so very human. I love funny horror movies. They make the best kind of horror movie. Also, Ben Schwartz is really fucking hilarious.
He is.
I'm so glad that he is the guy that they picked to be the crime boss's son, who, by the way, who is played by the incomparable, and I'm probably going to butcher this name, Sheree Agdashlu.
I love her.
She's amazing.
I love her in everything I've ever seen her in. Every time she shows up, she's a total, hey, it's that guy. And she's fucking fantastic.
And just the gravity that she brings to a situation is unparalleled.
To everything.
Everything.
And she plays it so straight in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
She is the straight man. And she's fucking fantastic. She's so good.
She's absolutely brilliant. Honestly, the chemistry of everyone.
Yeah.
In this movie is so good.
So this was directed by Chris McKay, who you might know from the Lego movie.
Yes.
And the Lego Batman movie.
Yes.
And he directed a whole bunch of Robot Chicken.
A ton of it.
So one of the really nice touches that I really, really loved that he did is Dracula's eyes are whiter, brighter. There's light directly, and it's this way in the 1931 Dracula.
Yes.
So he's making a direct homage there. Angelica Houston, when she played Morticia Addams in the very first Addams Family movie, they did the same thing with her eyes, where it's like they're shining
it's
a
like
ring
a bar,
light.
Yeah, a bar of light just right across her eyes.
Right.
Yeah.
And they did that in this.
Yeah.
And it's so good. It really brightens the character's face and really shows you the hypnotic set of eyes that Dracula has and the way that he can talk anyone into anything.
Which is why it's a trick that's been used since the 30s.
Right.
And can we also, just for a second, while we're talking about that, talk about Nicolas Cage's role in acting that part?
Oh, he's so fucking good.
He's so good. Because it's a
so
mix.
Good.
It's a mixture, to me, of 1931's Dracula. It's a mix of, in the way that he moves, Nosferatu. There's also a bit of Gary Oldman's Dracula.
Yes.
And it's all just coalesced into...
And this is a comedy. He's playing both menace, fear, and comedic timing.
Yeah, and it's
all at once.
It's perfect. It's so good. It's a really, like, astoundingly good performance. the way he and Nicholas Hoult play off of each other, the
Yes.
dynamics of their very toxic relationship is just, it's real. It's visually stunning. You feel like you're in, and you're rooting for him. You're like, yeah, you're definitely not a monster that spent the last, couple of centuries luring people to their fucking deaths for this thing.
I will tell you, the only thing that really disappointed me about this movie is that and it was so ripe for it, but there is no church desecration.
Agree.
What would we rate this movie, Megan?
It's an A+ for me. And it's an A+ for Nicolas Cage as well.
Just 1+?
I mean, no, I would give him ++. I honestly, if we're going to do the ++ system, we're going to continue that, I give it to both. Both the movie and his performance are both A++ experiences for me. This movie is fun, it's action-packed, it's witty, it's clever, it's smart, it's quick-witted. Like, there is no boring part of this movie.
I agree. It's an action-packed romp. It's hilarious. It's genuinely frightening. And it all meshes well together.
Yeah, it's this movie's absolutely brilliant. I genuinely don't understand how it's only got a 58% on the tomato meter.
Yeah, I don't get that either. What's the audience score?
It's 78%, as well it should be. It's I don't understand. I don't understand. I did read a couple of the reviews, like the little bite-sized reviews that Rotten Tomatoes has. And one of the first one is there's a spicier, punchier, and sillier movie trapped inside. Shame it couldn't be coaxed out. I think I completely disagree with that. Renfield wants to be cool and wants us to think it's cool, different, and edgy, but it fails. There's a reason Dracula has endured and we haven't felt the need to be familiar with Renfield before. No.
Renfield is a quintessential part of the fucking story.
Quite literally. You guys just think that vampires are sexy, and that's back in folklore never been the case. It wasn't the case until Anne Rice got her hands on it, and not that she did a bad job. It's just that wasn't the origins, and Renfield has always been not even just an important part, an integral part to Dracula's survival.
Yeah.
Also, I think that you and I are the kind of people that when we watch shows or movies, we want to know about the people, the small people in the background. There's a show that we both love called Lower Decks. It's about the fucking ensigns that work on the Enterprise class ships in Star Trek. Because you just want to know. You just want to know.
That review, who's this Renfield person anyway? I swear to God, that same reviewer would probably look at Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead and be like, we don't need Rosencrantz and Guildenstern's story. It's the entire fucking point of the project.
Literally.
And this is Renfield's story.
Right.
So just sit back and fucking enjoy it, man.
Right. And the thing is, I think, so the Renfield aspect of the Dracula vampire sort of mythos has been lost for a while. But when you go back and you read the old stories, yes, Dracula is a powerful person. He's a powerful creature with all these different abilities, but he has a super weakness, just like any superhero or supervillain.
Exactly.
And it's this fucking sunlight, kids. He can't go outside. He needs to have servants to take care of him. Just like Superman needs people to go through his fucking Wheaties and make sure there's not shards of kryptonite in it. Not that happens, but still, he still has to have servants.
Yeah.
And the idea that you've taken what's honestly probably I wouldn't say true because Dracula's not real, but as far as a modern recreation to the source material, it's probably the truest version that you can see nowadays.
Right. And there's also there are so many things that it's been so long since I read Dracula that I can't remember, for example, if Dracula has to be invited in. But
yes,
modern vampires all have to be invited in. So they play up to that a little bit in
Right.
the movie. Like, Renfield comes home and Dracula's waiting in his apartment, and he looks down at his welcome mat and it says, "Welcome, come on in." And he's like, shit. Right?
Right.
And
Exactly.
there's, you know, having to go around in the coffin because it's daylight, having your home soil because that's required. Like,
taking an extremely long time to heal and being in an incredibly weakened state while doing so because he was
right.
damaged.
These are all parts of the vampire mythos that have evolved over the centuries.
Yep.
And I love the little nods to them in this movie. So you don't like, if you have never seen Dracula before, let's say you've never seen Nosferatu, let's say that you aren't familiar with the Dracula myth, but you watched Angel, right? So
Yeah.
those rules are in this universe.
Yeah, I also really love that they made him transform, not just into bats either. Like, he also transformed into mist.
Yeah.
And, like, which are, like, the two biggest, like, parts of, like, him being able to shape change. Like, he can also, like, shape change into, like, a wolf or something, I think, too. But, like, we don't get to see that. Like, the last time I think I saw a vampire story where, like, transfiguration occurred was, what was it? The Dracula Untold or Dracula 2000 or something. The one with, Luke, what's his name from, that was in The Lord of the Rings. He played the fisherman. I can't remember. Luke Owens or something. I can't remember. I think it was called, like, Dracula Untold, and he turned into bats. But, like,
there's a really great episode of Buffy the Vampire. There's a really great episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer where Dracula comes to Sunnydale, and he can do all of those things that he could do in the book. He can transfigure himself into mist or into bats, and Xander ends up becoming Dracula's familiar, and he's eating bugs, and he's like, yeah. So those are little things, little signposts along the way of like, you know, the mythos of Dracula.
And you know what? Buffy went on for what? 8 seasons? 7 seasons? So they went on for 7 seasons because they did the mythos of vampires correctly.
Right.
Like, the reason Twilight was so, like, hated when it happened is because it completely ignored all of the myths, like, core components.
Yeah.
On purpose. And I mean, we touched on Anne Rice a little while ago, and even Anne Rice continued those parts. I mean, she didn't make them, you know, if they got burned by the sun, they weren't, you know, debilitated, and they healed a lot faster, but it was still there. You can't go outside in fucking daylight.
Right.
You know, there was still some aspect of it. This movie just rolled all of that into one giant, happy, like, vampire-shaped ice cream cone. And it was such a treat. It was such a treat to watch. I would recommend this movie to anybody.
I would too. This movie is a lot of fun. And it's only fun because it's so grounded in those ancient myths.
Agreed.
And updates them for a modern audience.
Agree. They do also make a nod to the general audience who may not have experienced all of that, because at the end, when they kill him, like, they literally like,
say, like, we don't know what's gonna work.
He's like,
there's so many different myths about how to kill vampires.
And Renfield's like, I've watched him come back from all sorts of shit. Like, I can imagine. So, like, they literally, like, just, like, at a fucking butcher's, like, chopped him up into goddamn ground meat, poured him into cement, and made fucking molds and threw him down a grate. Beautiful. Wonderful. This movie is so good. It's so fun. It's got something for everyone, except for, you know, maybe the kiddos, but yeah.
This movie is also prohibitively gory.
Yeah.
It is so gory. There is so much blood. There is so much, like you said during the recap, when they're fighting in the apartment complex, he literally just rips a guy's arms off, and the guy goes, "Whoa!" and Renfield goes, "Whoa!" He takes the arms and he fucking throws them, and like
goddamn
one arm
javelins.
goes through a guy. It's so fucking funny.
It's so funny. It's so good.
But it's so gory. It is just over the top levels of gore.
Yeah. But in a fun way.
Yeah.
Which is, if it could be, but like, yeah, no, this movie's excellent. It's A++ on both ends, from both the movie itself as a whole and on Nicolas Cage. Did you have anything else that you wanted to say about this movie?
No, I don't think so. I think we've covered it all.
I think we have. But anyways, listener, if you've, traveled along with us on this journey, we would definitely recommend that you watch this. If you want to follow along with us, we are on socials on Instagram at Not the Bees Pod, where we share a couple of clips, images from the movie that we're watching every week. You can also find us on patreon.com/notthebees if you want to support us. We would certainly appreciate any kind of tier that you want to subscribe to. We would also appreciate if you engage with this episode in any way, like, share, subscribe, what have you, on any podcaster that you get your podcasts on. But that's going to do it for us this week. I've been Megs.
I've been Elizabeth.
And we'll see you next time, kids.